Hello and welcome to another BWhack review. Today we are going to be taking a look at Joey Logano's Shell-Pennzoil Nashville win from 2024. As always, take a look at the box. Once again, this is a Premier Edition. I'm shocked the Premier Edition actually got made for this car, but here it is. So you got the big, huge Premier Edition box. Elite Premier Edition. Same stuff down the side. You got the gold chrome foil side. Same stuff on the other side. And you've got your copyright and such on the bottom of the box. They made a total of 60 of these things. They've got the big box because it has that display case and everything else inside of it. Here is the car itself. Joey Logano's legendary fuel stretching run. I don't care how many overtimes there were. Stretching fuel for this long is impressive no matter who you are. Like, that was longer than anyone thought was ever physically possible to stretch fuel, and Logano did it and won the race by it. Especially being in the, Shell fuel sponsored car. That's pretty impressive. I'll rant later about everything else. Anyways, being a Premier Edition, you of course get your special description of what a Elite Premier Edition is. You got your certificate of authenticity. Really? You've got your winning sticker. And your typical race-winning stat card. You see the Nashville guitar that they do every year. Like I said, this race definitely went way longer than it was supposed to run. The Ally 400 ended up being the Ally 440. So this was the race that ended up with a record 5 overtime attempts, which is just insane. But it all started when it was like Austin Cindric and I think it was Gregson, were having a raging battle for 18th or something, and Austin Cindric got spun out with a couple laps to go in the race, so they threw a caution, and then the race just divulged into chaos beyond that point, which was again caused by Kyle Larson of all people. On the first restart, he dove in there trying to take out Denny because him and Denny were having one of their little pissing matches in that race. Or he was at least trying to shove Denny up the track or something, and he just missed Denny entirely and just destroyed Chastain on the outside in that Busch Country car. Which, speaking of that, this year's Busch Country car is amazing. Instead of being red, white, and blue, it's light baby blue and white and has a big guitar down the side and neon mountains and everything. That looks amazing. Can't wait to get that diecast. But anyways, back to this car. And then after that, the next restart, 2 or 3 cars ran out of fuel, and then there was another wreck, and then there was another wreck. And everyone was either cars were running out of fuel or cars were pitting, and then Logano was just not pitting, not running out of fuel. Everyone was oh, well, he's going to run out now. And Tyler Reddick pitted on the second overtime attempt, so he was up there at the end with a ton of fuel and tires. And then Logano said his car started to sputter coming out of turn 4 on the final lap, and he was able to hold on and win the race. And everyone likes to whine oh, he wouldn't have been in the championship without this Mickey Mouse win. Which is just horseshit, but I like how everyone's quick to point that out, but everyone's not so quick to point out that he should have definitely won Richmond if Austin Dillon wasn't a jackass. And that would have been how he got in the playoffs. So, that's such a stupid argument. And I don't think that, sure, this one had 5 overtime attempts, and you could say there's a little luck involved, but, I don't know why everyone considers fuel mileage wins to be so lucky, luck-based. It's being able to stretch fuel this long is a skill. That takes actual skill to do. It's so stupid that people just take any fuel mileage win, only if it's certain drivers usually, much like Logano. It's when it's certain drivers, it just turns into he's the luckiest driver ever. What was that dumbass video by 40 wins? It's just because you use strategy to win some races doesn't always mean luck. Strategy still takes things to do. You have to still be a good driver to save fuel. Same thing with the Las Vegas win. I don't understand this if you win a race by doing anything except leading a bunch of laps and dominating, it's a lucky win or whatever, a Mickey Mouse win. It's stupid. I said it only depends on certain drivers too. It's very obvious. If there's certain other more popular drivers that want a race like this, no one would be complaining, but whatever. Anyways, back to the car. That's enough ranting. Just gets me so annoyed. Like I said, it was very funny that Logano stretched fuel to an insanely legendary amount in the fuel-sponsored car. I'm sure Shell loved that. That was some great... Logano's literally become, like, the example for that now. Like, there's been other times where it's just, like, people have, like, been stretching fuel, or, like, you'll have drivers stretching fuel in Xfinity or something, and somebody in the booth will be like, he's going for the Logano fuel-saving strategy. It's like, he's just become the example, which being the fuel-sponsored guy, he might make sense, I guess. Anyways, let's get down to sponsors. On the hood, you have Pennzoil and Shell. Got Ford Mustang, number 22. Down the side, you got Pennzoil and Shell again. This was the very first race with the brand new Shell font last season. It immediately won a race. Do I have a... Yeah, there's one. Here is the 2022 diecast. So you can see what everyone's talking about, the font changing. You see it's basically like, it's much taller and a little bit shorter. So this is basically the font that they used on the Shell cars for the entire existence of the Shell cars. And then, like I said, they randomly changed it halfway through last year. So that's worth pointing out. Anyways, you got Hunt Brothers Pizza and Auto Trader. You got Ford Performance in front of the rear wheel. You got Discount Tire and Snap-on the C post. On the B post, you have only the one winner sticker from the All-Star race at North Wilkesboro. Ford, PPG, Mazak, AAA, and Coca-Cola. Joey Logano's name on the name rail does have the NASCAR Salutes logo. Does have the Hunt Brothers Pizza roof camera logos as well. On the back, you got Shell-Pennzoil 22 crew, number 22. Got the Ford Michigan license plate. Got Shell and Pennzoil on the deck lid and Cap Gemini on the roof. This is number 24, like I said earlier. It's been so long since I've gotten a door number. I keep getting, like, a bunch of the Logano cars I get are always, like, 21, 23, or 24. Why? Why am I the one that keeps getting these? Anyways, you got the same stuff down the other side as usual. Take a look under the hood. Got the Shell-Pennzoil logo and powered by Ford. This is an Elite Premier Edition, like I said, so you got your tethers and your extra detail on the engine cover and all that. Deck lid, of course, does open. There's your typical fuel cell and such back there. Does have the whited out piece at the base of the spoiler. That is accurate how the Penske cars run. I forget exactly what the purpose of that was. There's some actual purpose to why a bunch of teams do stuff like that. I think it's either wear or something, because you even see, like, there's, like, the corners have been, like, whited out too and such. I don't remember. Anyways, roof flaps, of course, do open if they feel like it. Those have the tethers again. And there's the inner side of the car if you want to see that. I don't believe this has any blown tires or anything. He did still do a burnout, even though his car was beginning to sputter. He was able to win the race and do a burnout on his fuel. Like I said, Joey deserves way more credit for stretching his fuel that long than a lot of people want to give him, just because it's Logano and everyone wants to just cry nonstop. Anyways, let's get down to damage. This is a very clean car. This isn't an overly exciting race version as far as, like, damage goes. You see, you have one really fun streamer that's going up around and down, all the way down the grill, all the way to the splitter down here. Except it goes all the way down. Don't usually get streamers on diecast. That's really fun. Beyond that, the confetti's like a couple little black pieces right there. You've got one random blue piece on the windshield. One random yellow piece over here. If that is confetti. Is that a different sign? Is that something else, or is that confetti? And that's about it for the confetti. But it is a bright yellow car, so you can see some good dirt, grime, and rubber buildup around the front. A few little marks and stuff, some rubber, all that good stuff. Got a little bit of a mark right there through the, like, jack stand logo. A few little marks, some fuel spill and all that back by the Auto Trader logo. The back bumper is pretty beat up. He was getting pushed and shoved a few different times. Whole chunk of the 22 missing. This does actually have the correct split color spoiler. You got the black in the front and the red in the back. That's how Logano's car always is, but whether or not they put that on the diecast, even on race versions, it's hit or miss. Like the All-Star win was supposed to do it, and that one has just red on both sides. I don't know. A few more marks and stuff down the right side. Some more dirt and grime, rubber, all that good stuff. A few little marks around the right front. Was this the race? This might have been the race that, yeah, I think it was, that Denny Hamlin and Logano had an almost little mess that was basically all just Larson. I think this was the race that, like I said, this was that race, like I said a while ago, that Larson and Hamlin were having a little pissing match. On one of the restarts, I remember it was Larson, like, tried to shove Hamlin out of the way, but instead it just made Hamlin shove Logano out of the way. So Logano just thought Hamlin shoved him out of the way for no reason, so he was, like, under caution, like, flipping him off and everything. And then it turned out it was like, that wasn't even Denny's fault. That was just entirely Larson. Larson is really bad at payback. That's all I've learned. like he was not great in that whole race at payback. And then, like I said, when he tried to shove him out of the way in one of the last restarts, he ended up just destroying Ross Chastain for no reason instead. But whatever. If you want this card as a brand new release, you can get it right now. I would actually not be surprised if this actually gets rare, because they only made like 500 something of the ARC version of this car. And the fact that it's his championship year and everything, like, this is probably the least exciting of all of his wins last season. As far as like the diecast goes, like, it's just the primary paint scheme with a few pieces of confetti and a little bit of dirt and grime and such. Like a few little marks and such, that's it. And it's like, the other ones are all more exciting. So this one is going to have the lowest number, and being the win, his technically first points of the year and everything. I could see this actually getting rare down the road. You never know. Remember, for all of your diecast needs, you can go to circlebdiecast.com, and if you use the code BWhack, you can get $5 off shipping on any order over $30. So go check it out if you want anything. But I think that's all there is to say. This has been a review of Joey Logano's Shell-Pennzoil Nashville win from 2024. Hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.